While I was out shopping the other day, I spotted these little skulls hanging out on the shelf, just dying for a makeover. Their grinning faces reminded me of Disney's silly Symphonies skeleton dance. I knew right then I had to take a few home and turn them into something special. Now let's get spooky and make some skull lanterns. My name is Katora, and this is the Mythical Makers Workshop. Before we jump into the papier-mâché portion of the project, we have a little prep work to do. First, I take off the corded handle and set it aside for later. And then I use 220 grit sandpaper to dull the glossy surface of the skull. Since this was originally meant to be a candy jar, it's probably made from food-safe plastic, which means glue doesn't like to stick to it. A quick sanding gives the surface a little bit of grit to help your papier-mâché bond beautifully. For everyone playing along at home, I will have a list of all the materials I used in the description below. I really hope you give this one a try. It is a super simple, beginner-friendly papier-mâché project, perfect for a quiet afternoon and a little bit of Halloween fun. After sanding, once the surface is nice and dull, I gave the skull a quick wipe down with a damp paper towel to clear away any dust. That way the glue will grab evenly and the paper will lay smooth. Now that our skull is prepped and ready, it's time to begin the papier-mâché process. For this step, I am using tissue paper instead of newspaper. Tissue paper keeps the layers nice and translucent, which helps the lantern glow when you put a light inside. I like to tear up a bunch of tissue paper ahead of time, so I don't have to stop and rip up more while I am working. I also prefer tearing instead of cutting with scissors. It will give you a nice soft feathery edge when you are blending layers. For the paste, I mixed a simple 2:1 ratio, 2 parts PVA glue to 1 part water. For this project, I'm not dipping the tissue paper into the paste. Instead, I'm using a brush. I dip my brush into the glue mixture, then pick up a piece of tissue paper and apply it directly to the skull. Doing this will help the layers dry faster, and you'll be surprised how little paste you actually need to cover the whole entire lantern. While I'm adding tissue paper to the skull here, I'd like to take a moment and thank you for stopping by the workshop and checking out this video. And this is the point in the video where I ask you to do all the YouTube things, like, subscribe, click the bell, and if you're feeling extra crazy, could you put a skull emoji in the comment section? This will let YouTube know to share the video with more awesome people like yourself. When working around the eye sockets and other facial features, I prefer to use smaller pieces of tissue paper. This helps prevent bubbling and keeps the paper lying smooth over the contours of the skull. Here is what the skull looks like after one layer has dried. I prefer to build up 2 to 3 layers before I call it quits. A quick tip when adding the papier-mâché, do not go all the way to the edge at the top. Leaving a small gap ensures the lid will twist on smoothly once it is all dry. I want to reiterate that this is a very beginner-friendly papier-mâché project. One of the hurdles that often trips up new crafters is sculpting the armature or building the foundation. Using a skull bucket that is already in the shape we want saves time and it simplifies the process, making it a great way to dip your toes into papier-mâché without fear. After the second layer is complete, it is a great time to see how your lantern looks with the light inside. This will help you decide where to add more paper for the third layer and how much coverage you want. For the third and final layer, it's more of a spot check than covering the skull all over. The last part we need to papier-mâché is the lid itself. Once that is done, we are ready to move on to the final details. Now that the papier-mâché is done and dry, it's time to add the final details. I'm starting by painting the eye sockets, nose, and teeth with black acrylic paint. Nothing too fancy, just your classic skull design for me. Once the paint is dry, I like to take a little bit of the same glue mixture, brush it over the eyes, nose, and teeth. This step is totally optional. I prefer a matte finish instead of the glossy paint shine. As a bonus, this also works as a sealant for your paint. Now that the skull is finished, you can pop the handle back on if you'd like. Add battery-operated tealights or even fairy lights will work well for this project. I hope this has inspired you to go out and create some skull lanterns of your own. My name is Katora, and I'd like to thank you for stopping by the Mythical Makers Workshop. Now let's take a look at the final results.